I think I've said this before, but I do think that your child will grow into who it's supposed to be. Like your child will grow into a good, better version of themselves, if that makes sense.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
I think I appreciated the most was definitely the social circle, the social aspect of it. When I first moved, it was pretty tough because obviously I was getting used to a whole new environment, like different sorts of people and different cultures and different environments. But first of all, at North Star, there's really everything. Like there's all sorts of cultures, all sorts of diversification, like diversity if you want. And so like no matter who you are, I think you'll find a crowd for you. And I'm Arab, so I definitely found like a good Arab like group that I could fit in with. And the social circle, even if you're not like going into your racial like background group, if you want, there's like everyone just gets along really well, and there's no room for really just sitting back in your shell and like not talking to anyone. If you go to the bathroom, a girl will strike up a conversation with you, or if you're in the hallway, someone will strike up a conversation. Even in class, like when you're put into groups, no one's really shy, like everyone just talks. So I think I really enjoyed the social aspect of it because it helped bring me out of my shell. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't really look into other schools because North Star was my first option, and it seemed to work out fine. Like when I went and I did the like little interview with Miss Debbie, everything worked perfectly. So I didn't really look into other schools. But from what I've heard, I think also from the social aspect, like from what I've heard, other schools it's hard to integrate. Also because given the small size of this school, it's very easy. Everyone knows everyone, so it's very easy to integrate, but like in bigger schools, it's harder to like integrate if you want, or like find a good group. Okay, I would describe it as welcoming. I would describe it as comforting, and I think very friendly. Yeah, I think the welcoming was definitely the teacher aspect. But back where I come from, the teachers, like you have a very professional relationship with your teachers. It's not like I could come and talk to you about my problems. It's really like a, like educational context. But here it's all the teachers are here for you. All the teachers make sure you know that they're here for you. And they always, like I remember when I first started, my I used to go to tutorials a lot because I was really trying to like catch up on all the workload and integrate, as I have said countless times. But I was really trying to integrate, and so I would go to tutorials, and my science teacher, she kind of stood in as a mom for me. She really, well, not that my original mom has anything wrong. She's lovely, but also the science teacher, she really like took on this motherly role, and she always looked out for me. And in class, she would always look out for me. In tutorials, she would give me advice. She'd tell me, look out for this, be careful of this, and very welcoming, very, they take you in. I think it was all the same, really. They all at first seemed very foreign and very standoffish, but then when you get to know them and you actually like get like start talking to them, you realize that there's actually like a lot more, and they're all kind of on the same, they all get along well, and it's not like it's a friend group that you can't penetrate. Like they all get along well, and then they'll take you in, but it definitely takes them some time, as it would in other schools. Like, it's the same thing. It definitely takes time, but I think you can integrate very well into your surrounding, and they're all, again, very welcoming. This whole school is really just welcoming, like, in general. When I first came, I struggled a lot because I was very unsure of myself, coming from a different background. I had no clue what I was doing in any of the social circles, not because I'm like socially incapable, but I just didn't know what people were expecting of me in this kind of background and environment. But then I think once you break out of your shell and you're confident, you show in general that you know what you're doing and you're here to stay, and you are who you are, and nothing's going to waver that. I think that's definitely what it takes, and determination. I think in terms of academic success, it gets pretty hard sometimes because obviously there are things that you don't understand or things that you're incapable of grasping at first sight. So you need the determination to keep pulling through. And sometimes the workload gets tough and heavy, and you don't really know what you're supposed to do at some point. So I think determination and confidence. I think they wanted us to leave with knowledge, definitely, with compassion. I saw that through the dress down days. When we would do dress down days, it was obviously you have to pay to dress down, and the money that you would pay would go towards specific causes, and they would always raise awareness. Like, we had several guest speakers um talking about like drunk driving and cannabis, and they had us like they always spoke about like animal endangerment and like wildlife and global warming was raised a lot of awareness for. So I think compassion and like knowledge, like awareness. I think integrity, definitely 100%. I think they also wanted to leave us, like, make sure that we left as good people in general, like just well-rounded individuals that could survive in a regular environment where a bit more is demanded than the regular individual. I think when you come out of another school, you come out as a well-rounded individual, obviously, but I think because of the extra support that I obviously mentioned that teachers give you, and that the friends you make, they give you a lot of support. I think you come out as a better, not better person, but like better rounded individual. Yeah, I think the tight knit relationship between the teachers and the students, like when in my old school, I'm gonna give comparisons because it's the only thing I have. When I was in my old school, people would be shocked to find out I was my sister's sister. Like, it was crazy. They were like, "Oh my God, you're your sister's sister." Like, what? But here it's like everyone knows your sister or your sibling or whoever, and they it's fine to like make jokes with your teachers. And like when I first came, I was like, wait, these people make jokes with a teacher? Like, it's fine to have fun and like treat your teacher as if they were low-key your friend. But yeah, I found that very surprising. I think they definitely did. As I told you, I was very in my shell when I first came. And then when I came out, I definitely was a lot more confident. I was definitely a lot more aware of my surroundings. At first, it was a very naive background. Like, I didn't really know, but now it's like when I meet someone, I'm able to apply knowledge that I've kind of acquired through my experiences at school, and I'm able to make like good um evaluations, if you want, on people. Like, I'm able to, well, I don't know if this applies, but I think I would change the whole COVID situation. Because again, I'm gonna repeat myself, I didn't really understand what I was doing at the beginning, and then just when I finally got the like idea of it, and I really started like making friends, and I started picking up on the workload and like the routine, and I started knowing what I was doing, COVID hit. And then I was just like, oh God. And I literally, the wind was blown out of me. Like, I didn't know what to do because Then I had to get accustomed to online learning and all that. And then when we came back, obviously, not all the opportunities that we had before were available. Like a lot of senior activities that were done before to raise, like fundraise and things like that, just weren't available anymore. So I think I would change the way that COVID had an effect. Not saying that we didn't adapt to COVID pretty well. Comparing to other schools and given the circumstances, I think the way the school handled COVID was the best they could have done in the moment. And it was very inclusive. Like there were a lot of things that weren't heard of before. Like teachers wouldn't do it before, or it was just an unheard idea. And then they came up with it. They were very innovative in that sense. They tried to make sure that they modified the like curriculum or the activities that we could do so that it would fit into the COVID environment. Yeah, I think I was expecting a lot more academics, not saying that it's not academically challenging because it is, but I think I was expecting like hardcore academics and for people to be like me, like very hardcore, like very enticed in the like academic side of it. But then I realized that people here are actually very relaxed and they understand what they have to do, but at the same time, they know how to let loose and have fun. So I think I was more expecting academics, but I ended up with like a good social circling along the lines. Yeah, I've definitely mentioned the staff and the student body. It's stands out. It's very welcoming, as I've said. So I will talk about the opportunities. I definitely think that a lot of opportunities are open to you at the school. Like for instance, me, I wrote a journal once and it got published in Laval Families. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a newspaper, and I ended up getting like hockey tickets, and we watched like a hockey game. Like it's very, you get a lot of opportunities. Not okay, maybe hockey game isn't the most opportunity that parents want to hear, but I think you do get a lot of opportunities in the sense of there's a lot to do. Like for example, I joined student body, like student council, and I did treasurer, and it gives you a different perspective from the academic side of it and the social side of it. You're really allowed to be on the administration and business side of it, which I think is a good like different perspective. Um, there are a lot of opportunities. I know that for a fact. There's the slam poetry. You're able to go and perform like slam poetry whenever you want. I'm a big fan of art. We once went on an art field trip to look at this Van Gogh museum. And this Van Gogh museum was not like some random school trip. Like it was all over Instagram and it was actually very famous and people were dying to get tickets and we had the opportunity to go. So I think it definitely does give you a lot of opportunities. I've said this before, but I do think that your child will grow into who it's supposed to be. Like your child will grow into a good, better version of themselves, if that makes sense. I think I'd say everyone's been in your position, everyone understands. Just go out, make friends, focus on your studies. Very important. It's very important to it's very easy to get sidetracked, but also focus on your studies. And I would say first year is always the toughest. Second year, people forget you even are new. Like it's a whole different world after the first year.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.